Add with the same or different signs. The camber angle is considered positive if it inclines away from the center line of the vehicle, and negative if it inclines toward the center line. So let's look at a few examples now. So example 1, the steering axis inclination is positive 6 degrees and the camber angle is positive 2 degrees. What is the included angle? So how we get the included angle is when we add the steering axis inclination and the camber angle. So we get positive 6 plus positive 2, which is equal to our included angle. So 6 plus 2 is just 8 degrees. And that would be considered our included angle. And so that would be our solution. So let's look at another example. The steering axis inclination is positive 5 and the camber angle is negative 1. What is the included angle? So once again, we're going to add these two numbers together. So we get positive 5 plus negative 1, which then is 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. And so our included angle is 4 degrees. So let's look at another example. So example 3. What is the included angle when the steering axis angle is positive 7 and the camber angle is negative 2? So how we get this is we're going to add the two together. So this really becomes 7. And because there is a plus negative 2, you can just say it's 7 minus 2 to simplify things. Or we can go 7 plus negative 2, which is then still equal to positive 5 degrees. And this would be our included angle. So let's look at another example. Example 4. What is the included angle when the steering axis is positive 6 degrees and the camber angle is positive 1 degrees? So we are adding this positive 6 plus this positive 1. So it gets us to positive 7 degrees. And that would be our included angle. Now let's look at another example. Example 5. Solve the following. We have negative 8 minus negative 3. So something to note is that when we have two negatives next to each other, they become a positive or plus sign. So this then becomes, we still have negative 8, and then we have this negative sign and this negative sign. So this becomes positive 3. So now we're left with negative 8 plus 3. So we are becoming less negative, and so negative 8 plus 3 then gets us to negative 5. Other ways that people do this kind of problem, if it's hard for you to visualize how we do this, going negative 8 plus 3, you could always go 8 minus 3, which gets us to 5. But because it's really negative 8 plus 3, we're going to take the sign of the larger number, which is negative, and then we would put the negative sign right there. And then that would get us to negative 5, because 3 is much smaller than 8. So that's why we keep the sign of the larger number. So either way, of however you get to the right answer, you can go that method. So let's do another example. Example 6. Solve for the following. We have 2 plus negative 4. So what we're really doing here then, we can get rid of that plus sign and just go 2 minus 4. Because it's the same thing. Because one positive and one negative sign, we'll take the negative sign. So now we're going to minus 4 So this negative 4 is becoming less negative as we're going to the right on the number line, and we're left with just negative 2. Once again, if you want to go 4 minus 2, which is 2, but we're going to take the negative because 4 is a larger number than 2 and it has, so we'll keep that sign over the positive. So let's do another example. Solve for the following. We have 2 minus negative 4. So this really becomes, as we have two negative signs, it's going to become 2 plus 4, which then is equal to just 6. And that would be our final solution.